Okay, folks, gonna do something a little bit different. So, I decided I want to talk about some books I've read. Now, these aren't really book reviews because I don't have good retention of information, so I don't remember the specifics of what's in every book. I blame the ADHD demon. But I will say what they are, who they're by, what I liked about them, general stuff. Everything I'm about to show you, I highly recommend reading. Now, I will say these are all going to be nonfiction ish. The first one has some fiction elements in it. But for the most part, what I read is nonfiction, is queer nonfiction. So that's most of what I'm going to be going over. Now then, with that out of the way, the first book I want to talk about, Transphoria. Now, this is a book I backed up on Kickstarter. Absolutely love it, don't regret it at all. It's basically an anthology of trans people sharing their stories, sharing stories with different trans themes. The art and all of it is great. That's the table of contents. So, yeah, lots of really good art. If you like graphic novels and you like anthologies, this is definitely a must-read. And it's by a lot of people. It's an anthology. A lot of people contributed to it. So that's number one. Now, this one might be kind of polarizing, depending on your opinion of Jacob Tobiah. But I read his book, Sissy, A Coming of Gender Story. Now, I love reading people's journeys. I love reading about their coming out journeys, their experiences. And yeah, memoirs are my jam. And it just kind of talks about him. It's just, fuck me. I'm using the wrong pronouns. God damn it. Okay, video canceled. Restarting. It's their, important. I fucked it up, but the pronouns are important. It's their memoir of growing up being non-binary. Growing up feeling like something's different about them. A little bit about their sexual awakening. Coming out to their parents. Going to different conferences and events. Making, different jobs. Just a memoir of their life as a non-binary gay person. I really, really loved this book. And honestly, looking at the stack of books I have, I'm surprised I've read so many because usually I'm not an avid reader. But yes, I highly recommend Sissy, A Coming of Gender Story by Jacob Tobiah. Very good book. Next book. Now, if you're trans on YouTube, you have absolutely heard of this guy. The T in LGBT by Jamie Rains. Now, this is just a book talking about just general. It's a mix between his own experiences growing up trans and top surgery and bottom surgery and meeting Shaba and her family, as well as just really informational. Before this, I didn't realize there were two main kinds of bottom surgery for FTM folks. There's phalloplasty and metoidioplasty. Don't ask me what either of those are specifically because I don't remember the details. Again, ADHD demon. Eats all information and leaves none for me. But this is a really good book. It was a fun read. Honestly, anything Jamie does is gold. I also recommend following him here on YouTube. His channels are his main channel, Jamie Dodger, and his other channel, just titled Jamie Rains. He's an awesome dude. I highly recommend following him here and getting this book. I got the hardcover. Now, another anthology, Genderqueer. I'll get to the other Genderqueer more people know in a minute. But Genderqueer edited by Ricky Wilkins, Claire Howell, and Joan Nestle. Or Nessel. I'm not sure. But this is just another anthology of basically non-cis people sharing their experiences, both their own personal experiences and their experiences with someone close to them who transitioned. Now, I will say there's some stories in here that are pretty sexually explicit, and one story in particular goes in depth about the childhood, about CSA. I don't want to say the whole thing. But it's really good seeing other people's perspectives and their journeys and stories and how they view themselves or how others have viewed them. Honestly, I would read this book again, and I'm not someone who reads things twice. Now for the other more well-known genderqueer by Maya. By Maya. I'm not sure how to say her last name. I don't know if it's Kobabe or the Animu Weeb in me wants to say Kobabe. I think it might be Kobabe. But yeah. This is another memoir, and it's a graphic novel, so if you like graphic novels and you have trouble looking at blocks of text like I do, this is definitely for you. I will say it ends on a little bit of a cliffhanger, but it's still really good. E did a great job illustrating and explaining things, just talking about Air Journey, Air thoughts on being genderqueer, different things they've tried, like how Air gender ties into Air sexuality, stuff like that. And it's got a Stonewall honor. That's got to mean something. Now the next one is a bit hefty. It's a thick read, but it's an educational one. Glitter and Concrete: A Cultural History of Drag in New York City. Now this one, this one goes back a ways. Let's see what the earliest thing is. It starts, the starting point is 1865, when it wasn't even called drag. I don't remember. Again, bad retention. I'm sorry. But I found this, it's really informational. If you want to know a lot about trans history specific to New York City, yes, Stonewall is mentioned, as well as the history of drag and cross-dressing and female and male impersonators. And has a special bit. Let's see. If I can just figure sausage fingers on mine, I can get to the pages. It has photos with little blurbs and explanations with them. So you got all this stuff. This stuff. Yeah, there's a lot in here. I think it was probably the first book I read when I started reading again. I think I should have started with something a little bit simpler because, wow, this was a thick read. Lots of stuff to go through. But I don't regret it at all. Another really good informational one, Who's Afraid of Gender by Judith Butler. This is another really, not quite as hefty a read, but very educational. Just talking about the history of trans perspectives in specifically the U.S., but it also mentions other countries and kind of explains how we got to where we are now. I don't want to say the science behind transphobia, but some of the reasoning and why it exists. Now this one is a bit more personal. Don't Call Me Daughter. Another memoir, because I'm a slut for memoirs, by G. Collarone. And it's basically his story of realizing he's trans, coming out, how his family handled it, how, his pursuit of top surgery and, I think, bottom surgery? I read this book about a year ago. I don't remember. I don't think he got a bottom surgery. I think he might have got a histo, though. But yeah, so it's not very long at all. But so it's a quick read, very light read, very, I love the personal touches. Again, memoirs are some of the most personal things you can read, and I love that. Now this is probably my favorite of the books I've read. Affirmations for Queer People by Jess Vossetig. Now I've been following her on Instagram for about 1 or 2 years now. Her illustrations are fucking amazing. This whole book is just basically illustrated. Let's see, just open up to a random page. I open to the introduction. Now, the introduction doesn't quite do the rest of this book justice, because look at this. Look how pretty this looks. And let's see if I can find one of the main illustrations. Oh, here we go. I am surrounded by my chosen family who love me. Jess is an amazing artist, and all of her art, it shows such variation in like people. There's people of color. There's people with top surgery scars, but still look feminine. There's white people. There's mixed people. There's people with disabilities. There's fat people. When's the last time you saw fat representation in anything queer? Because it's few and far between. And this last one, it's not trans related. It's more for the aromantics out there. The other significant others. It basically talks about those relationships where it's not, kind of like queer platonic relationships. It's not romantic. But it has a lot of the emotional intimacy and depth that comes with a romantic relationship. And it just kind of talks about how, honestly, it's unreasonable to expect your romantic partner to be everyone and everything that you will ever need in your life. That's too much pressure on one person. You need other people that can fill some of those spots. And that's what a lot of the relationships in here are about. I laughed. I had my heart broken, like absolutely shattered by one of these stories. It's not an anthology. It has elements of it. It talks about other people's relationships and how they came about and what they meant to each other. It's a sweet read. Probably one of my favorites, too. And that's all I've read so far. I have some other books on the way. I have other books that are kind of related that I just haven't gotten around to reading yet because procrastination. But those are like the ones I just wanted to show you. I'm definitely going to do this again once I've read some more books. But I thought those were nice little things to promote. I highly recommend everything I showed you. They're great books. I don't know, maybe I'll dip a toe into fiction next time. I don't know, like I'm not a big reader of fiction, but maybe I'll throw something in there. In any case, thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you pick up at least one of those books, because they are all fantastic. So have a great day. I hope you didn't spend the whole video staring at my chest, and I'll talk to you next time.